Hello and welcome to my Rails with JavaScript project. So here you can see my GitHub page. So here's the general repository for my app. It's called NYC Indie Show List. So you can make an account as an artist and sort of browse shows, post shows, look at venues, or you can just use it as a user without making an account. So here you can see just a regular project, and here I made a branch where I added JavaScript. So you can clone this onto your system. I already have it here. I'll just start my server here. So for this project, I mostly added a lot to my asset pipeline, different JavaScript files for different features that I implemented here. So you can see I have my local host here. So this is my landing page. So I'm going to log in. And so I have, I can sign in with Facebook. I use Devise and OAuth with Facebook, so I can just log in right here. And so now here I'm logged in as the Grasping Straws. That's my artist name. And so I have some basic features here. I can search different artists. Or I can browse all the artists if I just do blank search. I can also hit here to browse artists. I can see every show. I also have a shows tonight feature, but I don't think I have any shows in here right now. If you make a show that's tonight, it'll list them there. You can look at different venues. So here, the JavaScript functionality that I added some AJAX calls here. So I made a button where you can see it shows you all the upcoming shows and past shows. So it makes an AJAX call to the artist's show index, and then sorts them based on the date in upcoming and past shows. And then these are each links. So you see I can click on one of them and see the show page for the show. Another AJAX function that I implemented was this next show button, which allows you to sort of sift through each show. And you see like the edit disappears because you're still technically on that original show if you wanted to edit. So I took out the editing feature for sifting through the shows, but so you see it can get the data ID attribute from the next show. There, I could show you that here. So it gets the data ID attribute from the button here. I gave it a data ID of the current show. And so if I add 1 to it, it'll sort of, before I make the call, it'll call for the next ID in the database. The show with the next ID in the database, and then at the end it sets the data ID attribute to the current show that you're looking at here. And then so it sort of will add 1 to it before the next call and the next call, and so I'll be able to sift through until I hit an ID that doesn't exist yet in the database. Okay, so if I go back to the profile here, so I viewed shows. So I made another AJAX call here where you can see the list of venues that this artist has played. And so these are also links that'll bring you to the artist show page, for example. And so this shows you information about the venue, the different shows coming up, artists who played here. But I made a has many association here, where basically I made a call to the venue's index action, and then when I printed links for each one where you could see all the show dates at each given venue. So it basically just sifts through, again, here I can show you artist venues shows. So it gets the index of all the venues that that artist has played. Again, through the data attribute, it's able to get for this artist. And I also made a function to remove duplicates from this list. If an artist plays a venue more than one time, it's only listed once. And then so I sort of sifted through, and I gave this link also a data ID attribute of this current venue. And then I also added a div that had the data attribute as its class, so that I would be able to pinpoint where to add this list. On the next iteration, I get each venue, and then the list of shows, and then printed in the correct place here. And then so again, I have links here, and so you can see it'll show you for each show all the different, for each venue, all the different shows here, and then you can click and sift through again if you like. And then so sort of the last AJAX feature is that you can post a new show. So this renders the form. I just did that with toggling a hidden div versus showing it. And then so I can enter some data here, and it will actually update my database, and it will print the text on the page as well. So let's make a show really far in the future so we can definitely tell which one it is, because you see I've made a lot of test shows here. So let's make one in 2021, 12:05. Okay, future show. And then so I have a feature here. You can select an existing venue, or you can create a new venue. And so I dealt with this logic here in my show post. So basically I made some validations too, where if you don't enter a date, it sort of tells you to try again, and gives a link to refresh, because my model validations weren't showing up unless there was a page reload. And so basically it checks if there's a venue ID here, if I've selected a venue that already exists, and if not, then it creates a venue object. Well, yeah, and so it posts it to the venue create function, and then creates a venue object here with the results, with the response from both post requests. And then sets that new venue to the show's venue attribute. And then I also, in my show object that I constructed here, I made an append to DOM method. So I can just call that here and append it. So it works. So we could make a new, or what's a good venue? I think we could do Hollow. I don't think that's in here. So Hollow, forget where, I think it's in Williamsburg. Contact, don't know. But basically this just validates that there's a name here if there's no venue here. So I can create that, go ahead. Oh no. So it didn't make my post request for some reason. I refreshed. Okay, now it's working. And so here you see the posted information on the page. And then also if I view the shows again, here's the show. It updated my database. Okay, so I wonder why that wasn't loading. I had some issues with the document ready function, and I had to adjust it because of turbo links, and so I waited for turbo links to load, but I wonder if for some reason it just wasn't triggering it. So always more to look into, but anyway, thank you for taking the time to look at my walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed my project. Thanks.